Hello friends. So to start with the next lecture, that is combined method, if you want to isolate RNA from tissue sample, and those tissue samples which contain lots of inorganic salts such as bone, these such kind of tissues are very hard, and it is very difficult to even mince those tissues. So how to isolate RNA from those samples? So the best way is to isolate RNA from such tissues by using combined method. That is, one is kit based. You have to utilize your kits to purify your RNA sample, and as well as you have to use manual method, part of manual method, just to maximize the concentration of RNA while RNA isolation. So as I told, bone. So to start with the bone sample, what you have to do? Tissues like bone or very hard tissues, you have to mince that. You have to mince that tissue in presence of liquid nitrogen. You have to use liquid nitrogen, because as you snap freeze the sample in liquid nitrogen, the tissue is brittle. It is more hard. It is brittle, and easily you can crush it, or easily you can make it convert it into the powder form. So what you have to do? You can use your bone sample, fresh bone sample, or you can preserve your bone sample. Also preserve bone sample which are preserved in RNA later and stored at -80, and those samples you can use you can isolate RNA from both kind of the samples. So how to combine both manual and kit based method for RNA isolation? So what you have to do, you just take out your bone sample from -80, or if you have fresh bone sample, you just take out the bone, and then you have to use crucible and mortar, because those are very hard tissues, so you have to mince in the mortar and pestle. So what you will do, you will add liquid nitrogen to the mortar slowly, and then add to that bone sample, over the bone sample, and just crush it with the pestle. So you have to आपको क्या करना है, उसमें आपने अपने टिश्यू को ग्राइंड करना है in presence of liquid nitrogen. As you add liquid nitrogen, it is more easy to convert it into powder. Once it is converted into powder, you have to add trisol. So the first step is you have to grind your sample. So grind the bone sample or very hard sample. So in presence of liquid nitrogen. So you just add liquid nitrogen, crush it, and convert it into the powder. To the powder, the second step is, to the powder of bone tissue, you just add 1 ml of trisol. You have to add 1 ml of trisol. As you add trisol reagent to the powder, the trisol reagent, it will preserve your RNA which is present in the bone tissue, and also helps in the lysis of the cells also. So as you add trisol, immediately collect the sample from the crucible into the append-off. So collect the sample. So what you will see, you have MCT, and in that MCT, when you collect that sample, you have lots of debris, inorganic part of the bone, and then you have trisol. This is your trisol reagent. This is your reagent, and you have lots of white debris. So to that debris, what you have to do, you just pipe it up and down several times. Immediately you have to pipe it up and down so that RNA will come out into the solution. Then you have to centrifuge at 12,000 RPM for 10 minutes. But this centrifugation should be done at 4 degree. So 4 degree पे आपको क्या करना है, उसको centrifuge करना है. जब आप उसको centrifuge करोगे, you will have 2 layers. One is your debris part, and other one is your reagent. And that trisol or liquid part has your RNA, which is isolated, or which is released from the cells of the bone tissues. Now you just transfer. The next step is just to transfer this liquid material to fresh MCT. सो आपको क्या करना है, जैसे आपके पास फेज सेपरेट हो जाएगा रिएजेंट एंड डेब्रिस का, व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू ट्रांसफर द रिएजेंट और लिक्विड पार्ट टू अ फ्रेश एमसीटी. To that MCT, you have to add 200 microliter of BCP. I told you the advantage of BCP over chloroform in previous lecture. So similar method you have to follow, which we have used for cells or for your tissue samples, which are soft tissue samples. I have explained in the previous lecture. So you have to add 1 bromo 3 chloropropane. This BCP, it will help in the phase separation. So what then, you have to keep these tubes at 4 degree or on ice for 5 minutes, approximately 5 minutes. Why do you have to keep these tubes? Because within 5 minutes the BCP will separate the phases into 2 form. One is aqueous form, one is your organic form. So आपका क्या होगा MCT में आपका यहाँ पे क्या बन जाएगा, आपका यहाँ पे ऑर्गेनिक लेयर बन जाएगा और यहाँ पे आपका क्या बन जाएगा, aqueous layer. And this aqueous layer has RNA, lots of RNA it has. There is white, I have explained you very nicely in the previous lecture, there is a white layer between the 2 phases. We don't have to collect that white phase, as I have explained already. So you have to collect that aqueous phase. Now this aqueous phase has all RNA molecules which are isolated or which are released from the cells of the bone sample. So till now the procedure is very simple. You have to make it the bone sample or very hard tissue into powder in presence of liquid nitrogen. Then you have to add 1 ml of triazole to that sample, and you have to collect the sample and collect that sample into the MCT. Then you have to do 1 centrifugation just to separate out the debris and the reagent part, and then transfer the reagent to a fresh MCT, and then from this MCT you have to add 1/5 volume of triazole, that is 200 microliter of 1 bromochloropropane, and then when you add this 200 microliter, then you have to keep for 5 minutes on ice just to have separation of organic and aqueous phases. So till now the procedure, this part is part of your manual method. So now, because your bone sample has lots of inorganic salts, and these salts are inhibitory to PCR, and you don't want those salts to be as a part of in RNA, isolated RNA. So now you have to remove or purify your RNA molecule. You have solution aqueous phase. You have aqueous phase in your MCT. The 4th step is to the aqueous phase you have to add equal volume of 70% alcohol. What you have to do? You have to add equal volume of 70% alcohol. Means if you are collecting your aqueous phase, suppose 350 microliter. So you have to add how much? 350. If you have collected 500, then you have to add 500. So you just add 70% alcohol to the aqueous phase, and when you have added alcohol to the aqueous phase, now you have to use your RNA isolating columns. So you can use silica based columns, any kit you can use. So what you have to do, just transfer this mix to the column, to the silica column, which can be used for the isolation of RNA. So to the column, when you transfer this mix to the column, so now centrifuge, you have to use any kit you can use. You can combine with any kit. So what you can use, you can follow rest of the protocol according to the manufacturer. So what I have used in my lab, I have used a pure link kit that is from In Vitrogen, and that time the kit protocol is very simple. It is similar, almost similar to other kits also. So you can, what you have to do, you have to transfer the mix and then you have to centrifuge, and then centrifugation it may be at 10,000 rpm depending upon kits, or maybe 8,000 rpm. Once you have passed all the material through the column, now in the column the silica matrix, all the RNA molecule will bind to the silica matrix, and the other impurities will be collected or will be discarded. So when you centrifuge, then all the RNA molecule will bind to the silica and the impurities will go or will be collected in the collection tubes. So now pure, you have to wash this. So you have to wash the column with the wash buffers. Wash the column with the wash buffer. Some kits they use one wash buffer. Some kits they prefer two wash buffers. So according to kit, you can use wash buffer 1, wash buffer 2. Then you have to give dry spin at maximum speed. Once the dry spin is given to the column, then you have to add nucleus free water, 50 microliter of nucleus free water. How much? 50 to 60 microliter of nucleus free water. So once you have added 50 to 60 microliter of nucleus free water, you can reduce the volume also just to make it your RNA concentrate, but don't go less than 30 or less than 20. So you should not prefer lower volumes. So it's better to have at least 30 microliter. 25, more than 25 microliter is the best, and if you have good amount of RNA, then you can go with the 50 microliter. So you can elute your RNA with nucleus free water or elution buffers, which is provided by the kit manufacturer. So both you can use and both you can prefer. So once your RNA is eluted, now what you have to do, the sixth step is, once you have isolated your RNA or eluted your RNA, sixth step is, now you have RNA. Now as I have explained earlier, that you have to do one thing. Immediately measure the concentration, right? Then you have to run the gel just to check the RNA integrity. Run the agarose gel. You have to run the agarose gel 1.5%. Then the third one is, immediately you have to convert the RNA to cDNA on the same day. You just prefer conversion of cDNA on the same day, right? And then the fourth is, if you have RNA, if you have used like 5 to 10 microliter of RNA to convert to cDNA, then rest RNA can be preserved at -80 degree. Okay, so fourth step you have to do, RNA, if you have eluted RNA, you have to measure the concentration immediately, then run the gel just to check the integrity, and if integrity is okay, see, as I have previously, I will revise again, if you run 1 to 2 microliter of eluted RNA on the gel, what you will see, these are the like wells, what you will see, if you run, then you will have this kind of band pattern. Very faint band, very faint, but these bands are very sharp. So you have 3 bands, one is 28S, one is your 18S, and one is your 5S, 5.8S, and all tRNA molecules. In between 28S, 18S and these small RNA molecules, you will have smear kind of thing. You have here smear, very faint smear you will get, and this is part of mRNA, which is just 3% of total RNA. So if you will get this kind of pattern on your agarose, that means integrity is maintained and you have isolated good RNA, the quality of RNA is very good. So you can go with this kind of RNA cDNA conversion then, and leftover RNA can be preserved at -80 degrees Celsius. So this is combined method where we can isolate RNA from tissues, very hard tissues like bone tissues, which are difficult to crush and which are difficult to mince. So use of both manual as well as your kit based method, you can isolate your RNA. Thank you.